I am just going to say to start the video, Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time is a good game, but it has one of the worst weapon selections in Ratchet history. Most of them are either weak as piss, or there are multiple weapons that do pretty much the same thing as each other. Many of the weapons are from old archetypes, but are worse than weapons from previous games. On the other hand, there are some, if few, great weapons in this game. And that is what we will be deciding in this video. So let's get started. So the worst weapon in the game is the Sonic Eruptor. Many people actually say that this one is actually good, but you tell me you can pay attention to the timing that this weapon requires to get right while you are getting bombarded by so many bullets that it lags the game. And if you just ignore the timing and just shoot, it just does a piece worth of damage. At least it is a cheap weapon to buy, as it comes at the beginning of the game, being the first weapon you can buy. But that is also counteracted due to the fact that the Constructo shotgun, a much better weapon by the way, is completely free, being a reward at the arena a bit later in the game. I would say that the Sonic Eruptor is probably the worst shotgun type weapon in the series. The magnet cannon is just shit. Not only are there so many other stun type weapons in the game, but it is the worst one of them all. The other stun weapons either stun multiple enemies at a time, or you can leave them as like mines in order to ambush people. The magnet cannon only stuns an enemy per shot, and each one needs to be shot individually. And you can say that it probably works good against bosses. However, the other stun weapons are, again, just better, but the magnet cannon itself only stuns bosses for like less than a second, making it completely useless. The dynamo is just a victim of the times. It is the motion-controlled weapon of the game, just like the tornado in Tools of Destruction, which automatically makes it bad. I would say that it is even worse than the tornado, since it has a smaller range of effect, even if you charge it, and does less damage. At least it has more bullets, I guess. The Cryomine glove is just pointless. Not only the Groovy Bomb is a 10 times better stun weapon, but also the Constructo shotgun has a stun mod. At least the Cryomine is a little bit better than the magnet cannon, so there's that. The Spiral of Death can actually do pretty decent damage with an okay amount of bullets. However, there are two major problems with it. First of all, the firing rate is incredibly slow, probably only faster than the dynamo. Second of all, it has a pretty short range. Most of the flying enemies, and specifically flying bosses, are out of its range. So yeah, due to these reasons, the Spiral of Death isn't great. This one might be a bit harsh, but I think the Rhino 5 is not great. Don't get me wrong, it is as powerful as ever, however it is very annoying to get. In order to get it, you need to get 10 blueprint cards. However, most of the cards are incredibly hard to find without the Map-O-Matic or an online guide. And by the time you get all of the cards, you are literally at the end of the game without much more to do. So yeah, this placement is purely based on a timing problem. The Chimp-O-Matic is pretty much another morph gun like any others, not much more to say on this matter. Actually, there is a problem with this gun. It is that the Simp-O-Matic is easily missable. You can get this gun in the second championship of the arena. However, you never get a notification that it is unlocked. So, if you are like me, you will think that it only unlocks in New Game Plus. So you can literally play this game and never see the Simp-O-Matic. So that is a bit of an oversight in terms of programming. The Tesla Spikes is pretty much a normal turret weapon, only with electricity. However, it has an advantage over others. Each Tesla spike can connect with each other. So you can create a force field around you to act as some sort of static shield, which can be useful sometimes, mainly against smaller enemies. The Negotiator is probably the weakest missile-type weapon in the series. It does okay damage, albeit it feels like it's less than others, but its rate of fire is incredibly slow, with a somewhat low bullet count. However, it is still a missile-type weapon, so it is still decent at the end of the day. Now we are entering the actually good weapons in this game, and to start the good weapons we have the Rift Inducer. Being technically a turret weapon, the Rift Inducer covers a large area and does huge damage to any enemy that it catches. If it catches an enemy with its tentacles, it then sucks them into a portal and fucks their parents. I would say that the only problem that it has is the very low bullet count, but other than that it is a great weapon. The Constructo weapons are probably the best version of the bomb glove, the hand pistol, and the shotgun. They are already more powerful than most of the other versions of the guns, but what makes these weapons really great are the mods. These mods the way you use each gun. For example, you can choose if the Constructo bomb explodes on impact or if it acts more like a mine glove. Specifically, the stun mod for the shotgun makes the weapon easily the best version of it in the series. Everyone knows how good the groovy bomb is. Throw the bomb and watch as a wide area of enemies get completely incapacitated and get more susceptible to damage for like 10 seconds. And this happens by dancing. It is widely known that the groovy bomb is the best and more fun stun weapon in the series, and this game continues that trend. Just thank the developers that it is not a gadget anymore and can actually level up. Mr. Zircon is even better than the previous game, given that it is not a gadget anymore. Having a tiny floating robot always shooting enemies with you in order to rack up even more damage is great. Zircon will easily be the first weapon that you get to max level in the game. This might be a surprise, but I think the buzz blades are the best weapon in the game. With the damage that they do and the amount of blades that can be on the screen, it shreds enemies and bosses like there is no tomorrow. It can also do really well in crowd control, again due to the amount of blades that can be shot. There is not much more to say really, it just does stupid damage in this game. So yeah, the weapons in Crack in Time aren't great, mostly compared to others in the series, but still, the Constructo weapons are pretty great, as well as the groovy bomb, Mr. Zircon, and the buzz blades. So you still are going to have a pretty satisfying time using most of them, minus the sonic eruptor, and the magnet cannon, and the dynamo, you get what I mean.